What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and in this video we'll be talking about two different cryptos. As I'm sure you're aware by the title, Ethereum and Solana. We're going to talk about Ethereum first, then Solana second. If that sounds good to you, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. It is the 29th day of October, and here we are at about $4,000 with 9 hours left in the day. It is Jerome Powell Day, where the FOMC meeting announcement comes out, and they discuss that they're going to potentially end quantitative tightening. Maybe we'll see. If that happens, that'd be very bullish. Or at the very least, we'll get interest rate cuts, and that should provide some growth. If not immediately, then over the coming weeks and over the coming months for sure. I think that that's going to promote growth as well. Really, what we're doing here is we're just dealing with the aftermath of the 10th of October flash crash. We're consolidating well within this area. I think if there was a true underlying problem, a lot of people remember the 10th as if it was some kind of exposure to an underlying problem in crypto, right? That the exchanges house most of the crypto, and that when all exchanges go down all at once, the prices fluctuate dramatically. Like, that's the same underlying issue with the stock market or with the banks, right? It's centralized points of authority. It's nothing unique to crypto specifically, right? And I think a lot of people were expecting that this was just the beginning of a flaw that was being exploited and would ultimately lead us to lower prices. Really, I think what's happening is that under a very unique circumstance where all major exchanges went down at the same time, the price is able to move down, and really what we're doing is we're just consolidating at the base of that range. We're holding up well. We're actually showing strength. We're not showing any weakness as a result of this move. If we're looking at this at a on the 1 hour time frame here, zooming way in, looking at this with the RSI, we are in a bit of a downtrend. We do have lower lows here and lower highs, but we are kind of shifting out of that, right? We're turning into like a sideways trend, breaking out of this downtrend right now. You can see it here, and I think we might be getting set up for some kind of uptrend as well. That doesn't mean we're absolved of moving lower. We absolutely can move lower, but I don't think we're going to move lower at this pace. I think it's very obvious that we're not expecting anything that's super low in the RSI. If the 1 hour drops that low, you guys, that'd be pretty intense. We probably drop down below 3,800, but we'll see. I doubt that happens. 4 hour MACD's kind of, it's positive at the moment, but overall it's negative. I don't really like it, but less reliable when you're moving sideways and less reliable when you're on the 1 hour time frame. Stochastic suggesting that we move down a little bit, so that's fine. That's fine. Again, just because we're breaking out of this downtrend doesn't mean we can't move down right now. That's what I was saying with the RSI. So we can move down here. We probably do move down here. If we take a high to a low, or a low to a high here, you're at 39.90. Maybe we move down to 39.70, 39.40. I do highly doubt that we get below 3900, but even if we do, I think it's fine. In all fairness, looking at it like this kind of does look like a bear flag, doesn't it? It looks like a bear flag. And if it is a bear flag, if it's to be respected like a bear flag, let's just see from a high to a low here and measuring from the top of the pattern, that would take us down to about $3,800. So again, it is possible to go below 3,900. I'm not calling for that personally, but if we were to go that low, let's just see from a low to a high here. And I actually want to use the 4 hour time frame. I think that's a fine low. I mean, that would take us around our golden ratio zone. A bear flag can break out and you don't hit the measure move, you stop shy of it. It is possible. Maybe I should be a little bit more open to it, okay? If we do go below 3,900, I would expect that we find support between 38.13 and 38.90. So somewhere in that range there, if we do go lower. But if we see a price, a 1 hour or a 4 hour time frame closing above about $4,100, this is the low, or that's the low, whatever it is. We get above $4,100 and then it's go time. Then we're moving up higher. We're likely breaking out of this overall consolidation range we've been in since the 10th of October here. Okay, looking at the 4 hour indicators, the RSI is a bit sad here. I mean, you had a nice uptrend, nice higher low and higher high scenario, but you hit the overbought zone, now you're cooling off. This, in my opinion, is suggestive that we move lower as well. So expecting then that we do proceed to $3,900 to $3,800 roughly, right? Somewhere in that area. Stochastic suggesting that we go lower, and the MACD could bounce here. You're actually at a good area to bounce, but you could go lower and still bounce off of this area and still be fine. So not so much calling for you to go lower based on the MACD, just more saying if we go lower, the MACD isn't going to be in any kind of jeopardy at least, right? Daily time frame, zooming out a little bit more, looking at the RSI here. Man, I really do like this kind of curved bottom here. I don't like the straight shot down, but you are breaking out of that a little bit. I think we're seeing signs of productivity here. We're getting some higher lows, but we could go a little bit lower and still show that productiveness. So just, again, more of the same stuff where we're consolidating. We look like we're set up for a move up, but we could move down still, so we probably do. We move down a little bit lower. Stochastics rejected the overbought zone. Maybe we come down to the 50 and bounce there. The MACD looks fine. I mean, we have this kind of, I wouldn't say bullish divergence in the MACD, but we do have this momentum building where you can see the bearish momentum is dying off. And we're starting to get some bullish momentum building. I think that'll really come to full strength once the oscillators here, once those are above the zero. So thinking in terms of like prospective thinking in the future, I would think something, you know, probably at the end of the first week of November, we'll be breaking out of the zero line. Ethereum should really come alive then, right? If we're not above this zone within the next few days, if we haven't broken out above $4,000, $4,200 in the next few days, then I would certainly believe that after the first week of November, we should be not just breaking through here, but breaking out to new all-time highs altogether. November is going to be a really good month, you guys. And on that note, you know, let's talk about going higher here. If we're looking at Ethereum, I mean, very obviously, you've broken out of this range here. We had a flat top, and you had these lower lows coming in. You broke out of this overall consolidation phase here. Whenever you made this move, you're back testing and finding support, immaculate support at prior resistance there. Very good structure. Everything about the way that we're structured here in the price tells me that we're going to go higher. And from a high to a low, the next target to anticipate would be something around $8,000 to $10,000. Okay, that's the next target area to anticipate. $10,000 to $8,000 right there. And I would say there are more targets leaning toward 8,000 or even just above 8,000 than there are at just below 8,000. So though this says 7,750, I would think we do break above $8,000. If not in the month of November, then certainly sometime by the end of the year. Going into the end of the year, we should see anything from like $8,000 to $12,000 Ethereum, something in that range. I'm thinking probably closer to 10K, but we'll see. 39.90 right now, 2 days, 9 hours left. That's all I got. 2 days, 9 hours left in the month, man. This month went by so fast. That's all I got for Ethereum. Let's talk about Solana now, okay? I've had a few requests to talk about Solana recently. I see you out there. I pay attention. I try to at least. Crypto here, talking about it. This looks, I mean, Solana actually really does look like a good consolidation phase here. There was a moment in time back here where we thought, okay, you kind of look like a double top. Solana might be dead, but you know, you've since proven yourself otherwise and you've held up rather well. Really, you're just consolidating here at this all-time high area, an area that you should reject, that we thought you were rejecting, but really you're just holding up here. This is very implicative that you're going to see higher prices, okay? And if we're going to look at higher prices, you know, we take a high here to a low here, there's your targets. We could also take a relative high here to a low here based on this kind of consolidation phase and line those targets up. You know, the golden ratio is right there at 600, but the primary target, the 1272 from the major extension or the major fib retracement, the all-time high to the, or I guess last cycle's high to the cycle low, that move would take you to $670. So what I'm getting here is I don't think that we stop here. I don't even know if I feel confident that we stop here. I would think that Solana from here, from $200, you at least go to $670, but have a real solid potential to go up to about like $1,300 or so, something like that. It's a pretty big range. I know. I mean, it's literally like a difference of 100%, but $670 to $1,300, that's probably the best that I can give you as far as what the end of year expectations might be. And if we're thinking end of year, really, I'd probably think we're closer to $600 to $700. That makes more sense to me for Solana. Looking at the short-term stuff, zooming way in now. We were just on the monthly time frame, so figured I might as well talk about it. 1 hour time frame here. RSI is productive. Overall, it actually does look very bullish. You have rejected the overbought zone here, which is not ideal, but you can find a little turbulence. You can come back down, whatever. Find support at prior support, and then move up higher. That's fine, right? Move down. Find support there where you found support before, and then move up. It's not a problem. Reset your RSI. You know, you rejected the overbought zone. Sometimes you do that, right? Here, even in the midst of showing strength, you rejected the overbought zone, found support at the 60, and then you moved up, right? You saw a little quick move down, and then you moved up. It doesn't, when I say consolidate, it doesn't even have to be consolidate. Just make a move down, cool your indicator off, and then continue to rally. Stochastics look great. MACD looks like it's about to cross. Oftentimes on these shorter time frames, as soon as you cross, you actually do kind of consolidate and then you move up higher. So again, don't be surprised if Solana from here at about $200, if we do see prices back down around 197. Nothing crazy, right? 4 hour time frame here. Overall, I mean, you look really productive here, to be completely fair. I really do like that you're finding support here right at prior resistance, prior support. It's beautiful. No, I didn't take it from the wick. I'm taking it from the closing price, and I think it's more immaculate that way. And I mean, support right there. It's perfect. It's literally perfect. It's a significant area. I'm quite confident right now Solana's higher low is right there at $190. I don't think that we go below that low, right? If we do, it's okay. It's still a higher low overall. I don't want to scare people, right? Whenever somebody says, I don't think we're going below this level at all. I think we're going to, maybe we pull back a little bit, but we go higher. And then the price goes here. People have a way of panicking when they hear someone say it shouldn't go below that price. Then you think, oh no, it went below that price. Does that mean that we're screwed? It broke out. We're going down? No, no, no. We still have higher lows to look after. I don't think, and I confidently believe that we don't go below 190. I think that's the low. I think we hold, between here and 195. We probably hold this area for support. Might come down a little bit and then move up higher, right? 197 and then higher. That's what I'm expecting. Maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't. 4-hour time frame. The RSI is postured upwards. I like it a lot. Actually, I like the bounce off the 40. 49 minutes left here in the 4-hour. I'd be curious to see, do you find resistance right here or do you push higher? Because if you push higher from here, the idea that you pull back to 197 might go out the window entirely. Or maybe we're about to open up a new 4-hour candle. During the opening of that, we pull back to 197 and then we come back up to push higher going into the FOMC announcement on the 18th hour of this day. The MACD looks positive. The MACD looks really good structured here, actually. We've been seeing this happen where the MACD will cross above the zero. Cryptos go into like a moment of consolidation, right? You cross above the zero here. You kind of consolidated, but you've really been consolidating this whole time. When you move up higher, you're going to break out, man. When you move up, your next move is absolutely going to break you out of this range. Stochastics look good. I have to admit, I have a hard time at the moment imagining that you see anything but green candles from here on a 4-hour basis. You actually look pretty good. But again, a pullback, a couple dollars, a $2 pullback, nothing crazy. That could happen. That's a 1% move. We're talking about a 1% move. Who cares? Who cares? We're moving up, man. We're moving up. Let's just say it. We're moving up higher. It looks good. Daily time frame looks good as well. RSI looks primed and ready. Stochastics are awesome, and the MACD is the MACD, just like Ethereum. It might not have bullish divergence, but it has a decay and bearish divergence. You're getting some bullish momentum building here, right? Losing bearish momentum is the same thing as building bullish momentum, right? And you look like you're getting ready to break out of this area here. So we're going to call for that, expecting from a high here to a low right here that Solana probably over the coming days does move up to about $217 to $224. Maybe even by the end of today we're up there. But probably by the end of the month, I would think, if not sometime early November. And then I would think we pull back, we find support somewhere in this area here, and then we continue going into November, pushing on to new all-time highs and all that stuff. I would think November, by the end of November, we are at new all-time highs. We could be as high as, $300 to $420, something like that. But I would think that we probably see those $600 targets. Oh, sorry. $600 targets or anything beyond and anything around there probably happens sometime in December. And I got nothing else for you guys. So I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, hit the like button, subscribe. We're all going to be watching Jerome Powell today, see what he's saying. And then also pay attention tomorrow as well for President Trump and President Xi. They're going to have that meeting and we'll see what they say. Hopefully it's positive and the markets have a good reaction. Anyways, take care. Thank you all. Hit the like button. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.